Hey there, welcome back to The Magic and the Music. I'm Jen. I'm recording this video the week of Thanksgiving 2021, and there's something that's really been on my mind a lot lately. Helping Disney cast members to feel appreciated and respected. So today we're going to discuss how to thank a Disney cast member. Before we start our list, we would really love to hear from you about your stories about great experiences at Disney. Do you have a story about an amazing Disney cast member? Tell us about it in the comments. I'll give you a second. Are you done? Hey, if you need a little bit of extra time, go ahead and hit that pause button for a second. Okay, you're back. Let's get going. The first thing you need to know is that the term cast member specifically refers to Disney employees. The guest-facing areas at the theme parks are considered on stage, and the non-guest-facing areas are considered backstage. So it makes perfect sense that the employees are actually part of the cast of the show. So when I say cast member, I specifically mean a Disney employee. Okay, let's face it, it's been a pretty tough time to be a Disney cast member since the theme parks have reopened. Things have felt pretty divisive and people just seem more irritable and cranky than ever. Add in the stressors of a global pandemic and it's, well, a lot. Unfortunately, the poor cast members are often the victims of rude and disrespectful treatment from guests. These people are simply doing their jobs, and we need to keep in mind that they are the ones who really bring the magic to the Disney parks. So let's show them how much we care and appreciate them. Here's how. Number 1, thank them and be kind. The first and easiest way to thank a cast member is to just treat them with respect and kindness. Even if you disagree with something they're doing or a policy that they're enforcing, you can be civil. I recently heard a cast member say that she had someone spit on her at work. I can't fathom a situation where this would be an appropriate response. It's bad manners and it's just awful. We can do better. Often just a simple thank you or we appreciate you is enough to make their job much easier. Number 2, if someone goes above and beyond, offer them a card or a small token of your gratitude. Many guests like to carry greeting cards with them at the parks to give out as thank yous to cast members. Some people even turn this into a craft project or they buy them on Etsy. For a cast member who's having a bad day, a small little token of gratitude can be a big deal. I've heard that many cast members cherish these small gifts and keep them. What a cool way to make a lasting impact on a deserving cast member. If you've given a gift to a cast member before, be sure to tell us in the comments what you gave them. Let's share our ideas for great tokens of recognition. Number 3, tweet about your experience. You can tweet using the hashtag #CastCompliments to let Disney know that a certain cast member has done a great job. This strategy is pretty well known, but I have to say that I was told at Guest Relations in July of 2021 at Disney World that at the time nobody was monitoring that Twitter account. Things may have changed, but if you go this route to recognize a cast member, understand that there is a possibility that it's going to go unnoted. The cast member may never actually see it if nobody is monitoring it. Now that may have been a pandemic policy and it may change in the future, so if you do this, I would recommend also doing one of the following in addition. Number 4, email Disney and tell them. You can find an online form where you can submit a cast compliment. I'll include the link in the description below for both Disney World and Disneyland. I've heard that Disney does often respond to these emails. I've even heard of guests receiving phone calls back in response to their emails. Be sure to include the cast member's name, their hometown, which is printed on their name tag, the area or department that they were working in at the time of your interaction, and the time of the interaction in your cast compliment. Number 5, tip them. If they are in a position where they can receive tips, tip them. Not all cast members are in roles that normally receive tips. Housekeeping, bell services, and servers in restaurants are, of course, normally tipped by guests. You should always tip these positions. For guests from outside the United States, these positions are normally tipped here. It's the ultimate way to show them that they have added value to your vacation. As for positions that don't normally receive tips, like custodial, retail, other things like that, my understanding is that they are instructed not to accept tips, but that if a guest insists 3 times that they are allowed to accept a tip. However, they are supposed to report that tip and they may have to actually turn it in, so there's a possibility that they won't get to keep it, or it could wind up in a shared pool or something like that. So this strategy could be a little bit hit and miss. If you want to thank someone in one of those types of positions, I'd highly recommend the next strategy. Number 6, the absolute best way to thank a cast member for great service is to have it noted by either a manager or guest relations. This is my preferred method of thanking a cast member because I know it will be noted properly, and I make a point to do this whenever someone gives me great service and goes above and beyond at Disney. I can't tell you how many times my family stood there waiting for me outside guest relations at the end of the night because I just had to let them know about the great cast member I had interacted with that day. Here's how you do it. If you're outside of a theme park, like in a resort or a gift shop, for example, ask to speak to a manager. Yes, this does make me look like a Karen for a moment, but I usually let them know right away that I am trying to give a cast compliment so they don't get stressed out and they don't think that I'm there to complain. Just tell the manager that you'd like to recognize a cast member and they can note it for you. If you're in a theme park, you'll find guest relations. This is not the same as the ticketing window outside. If you're not sure where to go, just ask a cast member. It's always located just inside the entrance of the theme parks. These locations can be busy earlier in the day, but I find that they tend not to be as busy if I stop by on my way out of the park in the evening. So here's what you need to do. If a cast member goes above and beyond, take note of their name, hometown on their name tag, the location in which they were working, and the time of day. I usually write this down on a note in my phone. I've also had some cast members who have allowed me to photograph their name tag so I can remember to give them a compliment. I always tell them that's the reason that I want a photo of their name tag. But occasionally you'll encounter a cast member who doesn't want to be photographed. It's okay. I respect their privacy. I don't push it. I just go ahead and write it down instead. They get treated so badly by people sometimes. I'm sure that some of them have a fear that people are trying to complain about them or going to put some unflattering video of them on the internet and they're going to get fired. So it's totally fine. If they don't want to be photographed, I don't photograph them. Next, go to guest relations. This is where it gets really, really fun because you're not just giving the cast member a fun surprise, you're also making the guest relations cast member a little happier and a little more relaxed as well. Remember that most people who are coming to guest relations in the evening are there because something bad happened, something got lost, or they want to complain. It's so much fun to get to tell a stressed out guest relations cast member that you're there to do a cast compliment and to see their faces just light up and relax. Honestly, this may be my favorite part of giving a cast compliment because it's so much fun. I often have lovely, fun interactions with these guest relations cast members. One time I even did a cast compliment on the spot for the guest relations cast member who was helping me because he was so great. I asked who his manager was. I'm like, where's your manager? And she's like, right here, right next to him, actually. I grinned and I said, I think we should give him a shout out for awesome service. She smiled back and she said, I'll put it in the system right now, which she did. It was so much fun. And I think that he was having a really good time too, because he was having a nice break from people complaining. These cast members have to deal with so many upset guests. It feels awesome to bring them good news. You should really give it a try. So next you're going to tell the guest relations cast member who you would like to compliment and why. They will look up the cast member and verify their name, their hometown, and the location that they were working at and the time of day. Sometimes there might be more than one cast member with the same name. We've been occasionally asked to verify the identity by looking at their photo in the computer system because they can pull up the profile of each cast member. The guest relations cast member will note this on their file and they'll write a statement about what they did for you and why you're giving them a shout out. So why is this the best way to thank them? Because this compliment becomes part of their record with Disney. I'm not a cast member and I've never been one, but I've heard from many cast members that these compliments can help with future promotions and are a concrete thing that helps their standing as employees with the company. Managers will see these and they may actually be reviewed when applying for advancement with the company. I'd say anything that helps people to advance their careers and maybe even get a raise is well worth our time. So all of these strategies have been how to thank specific cast members. And of course, you can do multiple strategies from this list on your next visit to Disney parks. We do this all the time, multiple times per trip. But are there ways to thank cast members as a whole group? Yes. Advocate for them to have livable wages and safe working conditions. Anytime you get the opportunity to support them and be a voice and an ally to them collectively, do it. Many of them are paid low wages, and access to healthcare, affordable housing, and affordable childcare are among the things that help make their lives better. Most cast members work at Disney because they love it, and many of them could make more money elsewhere, but they love Disney. Thank them by advocating for them to have a good quality of life and to continue to bring the magic to our vacation experiences. Because if they're not happy, it's pretty tough to make others happy. And while we're at it, we can extend the same courtesy to all those in the service industry. People with a good quality of life make happy employees, and happy employees make magic. If you're looking for info about Disney Vacations or Disney Vacation Club, be sure to check out this video right here and this playlist here. Thanks so much for joining us today, and from our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving and happy holiday season to all of you. Bye, everyone.